G'day Tiger fans and welcome to Richmond's official podcast Talking Tigers. Well, it's time. It's on again in just 2 sleeps' time. It's round 1. It's the mighty Tigers and the arch rivals, the Blues at the home of football, the MCG. I cannot wait. It's going to be an absolute beauty on Thursday night. We're going to see 4 new Tigers, I reckon, playing on Thursday night. What a thrill it's going to be for those guys to pull on the famous yellow and black and run onto the hallowed turf. But in some huge news, there is one massive omission. Not Thursday night though, JB, don't worry.
Don't worry.
It's today. The man, the old boy, Tony Greenberg, he is out. He's gone. He's crook. He's got about 15 different ailments. He's gone to see the doctor again. And JB, it's a sad day because he loves this. He loves round 1, doesn't he?
It is, and he loves the podcast, Richo, as you would know.
It's the highlight of his week.
It's the highlight of his week. And we do send a cheerio out to Greeners because I know he's so excited for Thursday night and what it offers. But I guess we just have to push on without him, Richo. And do you want to make mention of the song there off the top? Because as well as round 1, I'm quite excited to hear a bit of Chuck Berry.
How good's that? Johnny Be Good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously passed away.
Yeah, 90 years of age. He lived a good life for a rock and roller, didn't he, Chuck?
By the sounds of it, he did, and a good innings.
Yeah.
So.
You know how big you are, don't you, when every single legend in the music industry tweets, a mark of respect out for Chuck Berry. What a legend and what a great song there, Johnny Be Good. But I read some of the tributes. You got your Bruce Springsteens, your Paul McCartneys, all the top echelon of stars are tweeting that he sort of changed the game. So
yeah,
must have massive.
Must have done something right there, and to influence those people so much who have then gone on to influence more.
Yeah.
It's a great mark of him, and to feature on the round 1 edition of Talking Tigers is also.
That might be the highlight of his career, actually, Chuck.
Oh, I'm sure they'll eulogise about things a bit later in the week, but it could get a mention, I reckon, Richo.
Well, it is a big week, and we want your interaction on Talking Tigers as always. So get online, hashtag Talking Tigers. We're going to keep pumping up Stump Greeners because we're not going to have the quiz this year, and we want to give away some T-shirts.
Yeah.
So,
well, I got one for him today.
Oh, good.
He was a late withdrawal, so
maybe
we'll hold it over to next week.
We will. Don't try and stump me. He's got better knowledge than me. Greeners, get involved. Stump Greeners, hashtag Talking Tigers, or email us talkingtigers@richmondfc.com.au. And it's been a big week around Tigerland, JB, with the leadership group announced. And
yeah, it has. Not surprisingly, leading into round 1, there's a lot of news and a lot of information to digest and to get out there. But last Friday night at about 8 o'clock, we announced the leadership group for 2017, which there's a lot of interest involved in it.
Too much interest, I reckon.
You might say. Barmy had a few cracks last week, wondering whose timeline we had to work to. But
well, it's our timeline, isn't it, that you worked to?
I believe so, I don't think there was a due date, but if there was, we got it in before round 1. So, it was great. And Trent Cotchin being captain again for the 5th time, 5th season in a row. So I think that's the first one since Flea in the late 80s, early 90s. And
I think he'll be the 3rd longest serving captain by the end of the year. Is that right?
By games played. And if you look at years, I think there's only 6 or so players who have actually captained the club for 5 years or more. And I mean, Koch showing no signs of slowing down. And I guess the leadership group as a whole garnered a lot of interest in who would be in it, and just the 3-man group.
I think it's great.
Captain, 2 vice-captains, Alex Rance and Jack Rewalt.
I think it's
led by the players. I think it's a great initiative.
I think a lot of clubs are going back to smaller leadership groups now, and I think it's a good idea. I think you can have too many players in leadership groups at times, and I think it's a great idea. We might get a grab of Trent Cotchin actually talking about that man, Jack Rewalt, who's back in the leadership group.
You don't get voted into by your peers unless you've shown great signs as a leader. He's, as I've said in the media, he's one of our most competitive players. He just wants to win, which I love that about him. And the growth in the way he sees other players, in particular the forward line, there's a lot of youth there. So he's taken them under his wing. We know that the forwards have a weird personality, but he's in most parts control of that, and we're looking forward to seeing him continue to grow as a leader, and as Rancy will, and as hopefully I will, and the rest of the group as well.
So there you go. It's great to see Jack back. He's obviously gone back, and I guess what's he done? He's not taken his medicine, but he's taken advice on what the other players thought he needed to improve on. He's obviously done that, and he's voted in now as a leader, and I think it's great. I think he's going to lead that forward line this year, and it is a young forward line group. Obviously, Dan Butler's going to debut on Thursday night. And
well, there were times last year when he was mainly the only senior guy with sometimes a couple of rookies down there, a couple of young senior listed players getting them through. So the leadership he showed last year in particular, I think put him in with a good chance to get promoted again. And if you look at the positions on field, as Koch mentioned, the forwards are a funny group, but we've got the forwards covered with Jack.
They're not a funny group, JB.
Sorry, Rich, I forgot who I was talking to there.
They are the match-winning group. Without
eccentric, you might
Without
say.
those sort of mad people in the forward line, you don't get the job done.
Well, I think we'll get to that a bit later in Greeners' top 10, which you feature in a bit. But and then you got Rancy in defence, but also Koch as the captain in the midfield.
Yeah.
So you got every
spread across three lines
area of the group covered. And those who were in the leadership group in the past but are not in now, they don't not become leaders around the club. So just because you don't have the title, you expect every player within the club to show leadership,
and they will
at times. So
they will. It's just
it's a big tick.
I think it's a great idea, three-man leadership group. Just on Dan Butler, it was announced on the open training session on Sunday that he's going to debut. I think it's great. A bit of pace in that forward line. It is going to be a young forward line. We're not sure about George Castagna yet, whether he'll be elevated. My guess would be he will, but that's not official from the club at this stage. But
no, not that I know of. But
if he plays, there's going to be some pace in there, isn't there?
Yeah, and you only have to look at the JLT series to see those guys get a few goals by their hard running back and forward and getting a few over the top. So there's exciting signs with them. And as Ash Rodriguez rightly points out on hashtag Talking Tigers, he's really looking forward to Dan debuting.
Yeah.
And towards the end of last year, with Dan playing the back end of the season in the VFL and not being I think with Chris Yarani was the only player on the list to not have debuted by that stage.
Yeah.
He probably had to work hard over the off-season, and he's done the work. He's grabbed the chance in the JLT Series games, and to see him line up on Thursday night is going to be exciting with the three other players that you did mention. So I don't know who they have in line to do the Guernsey presentation before the game.
Is there a homecoming hero that's not? It's a
Carlton home game. Because it's a away game, but whoever does it, I think they're going to be pretty busy.
Going to be pretty busy. Four new Tigers jumpers. Now, I'm always interested in the top 50s. It used to be Mike Sheehan's top 50.
Used to be in the paper. Yep.
It's a hard job, and we know Greeners gave Scotty Gullen a whack a few weeks ago with a big rant. But we had four in Robbo's top 50. I think that's about right, actually. I don't think you can criticise that. I think the four that he included, he had Rancy at number 5.
That's pretty good.
That's good. Clearly the best defender in the competition. At number 13, I think he had Dusty. And then 38 was Jack, and I think Koch at 38 and Jack at 48. So probably you would say that'd be about right. I think Robbo got that one spot on.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't see the list. I've got to get my subscription updated to whoever.
Nat Fife, number 1.
Yeah, were there any key position players above Rancy in that?
Yeah,
that
Buddy
lineup?
Franklin.
Buddy, okay.
Buddy was number 3, I reckon.
Okay.
And Tommy Lynch was 4.
Oh, there you go. Tommy Lynch.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a bullet.
Yeah, Tommy, I think he's going to be one of the best players in the comp by the end of the year.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Richo, a couple of things I need to pick. First of all, as Mick Sonny G's pointed out, happy birthday for earlier in the week, Richo. Everyone has one every year, but it's always a special occasion.
42, though.
42.
Getting on a bit, aren't I?
Oh, well.
The grey hair and...
Are you losing track of things that you might be saying, Richo?
Well, I think I might be.
Because I saw a tweet.
What's happened?
Sam McClure, former colleague at 3AW.
3AW colleague. He's gone to SEN now, Scoot McClure.
He put out a tweet that he might have got from 3AW at the time saying, quoting you, Richo, saying...
All right, what did I say?
I don't like going with these things on the eve of round 1. Because I know KB and Mick Malloy have said a few things, but... Apparently you've gone on record saying if we lose on Thursday night that you'll step away from football. Is that true? Do you care to clarify?
Well, I did say it, but I said it off air. Now, when you say things off air, the people you're working with probably shouldn't come back on air and say it. And Jared Healy did that, and then Scoot McClure tweeted it. Do you reckon I didn't get smacked by the Carlton supporters?
Yeah, well...
A lot of the Carlton supporters said, won't be any loss. You offer nothing in the media anyway.
They don't miss.
A bit flat with it.
They don't miss, do they?
Hey, I just got a tweet through. A tweet, a text through from our man, Tone. who's got the feet. He's got a bit of gout, a bit like AC. He said, I think Francis Burke will be doing the Guernsey presentations on Thursday.
Really? Okay. Well, so he hasn't got his street yet, but he's got his Guernsey Prez, which is great.
How good's that, having St Francis down to hand out the jumpers? You'd be pretty thrilled if you were one of those guys.
Absolutely. And with Greeners listening at home, it's my turn to talk about things outside of the club that I know I'm a celebrity, get me out of here is finished. So he's probably moved on to other things, and I'm sure last night he would have been tuned in to the cricket, which was quite exciting.
How good was that?
It was amazing.
When Steve Smith shouldered arm, when he went out, when he got his off stump knocked over, I thought that's it. I thought Hanscom and Marsh could maybe hang around for a little while.
But the way they did it,
how good was that?
And you've got to give them full credit because it was probably one of the hardest things in sport to go into bat. And you're not going to win the game. So you basically, all you're doing is trying to save the game. There's no chance of you winning. And to show the maturity that they did, I mean, I'm sure Pete Hanscom scored more runs in that in Test cricket, but I don't think he's put in a more gutsy effort to do that. And
mate, to bat out over 200 balls on that wicket on the last day, that's a pretty good effort.
We could nearly claim him.
Does he get a statue like our man tomorrow?
He's my sister's best friend's, that's his boyfriend.
Yeah.
He has the nickname Footbrush.
What's that for?
For hands comb. It's the Footbrush. So for you who like your nicknames out there, but that's great, and it all sets up for this week's final test, the fourth test, the decider. So what a series that has been. And
well, at least if Tone's crook, he can watch the cricket. But Tone
and he might have watched the golf as well. So we give a shout out to Mark Leishman, who won the
Tigers man. He won the Arnold Palmer, the King Arnie Palmer Classic at Bay Hill. So a shout out to Leish because he's been down here in the past. He hit some golf balls on Punt Road with Jack Rewald a few years ago. And do you want to just quickly finalise the arrangements for KB's statue finally being unveiled tomorrow? Yeah,
for sure. And the club's had a lot to do with this. The lead up to it, and a day out from round 1 2017, it's going to be great to unveil the statue of KB. And as the Chief tweeted out during the week, everyone assemble tomorrow at Gate 2 from 10 a.m. So that's Wednesday, March 22. Meet at Gate 2 at 10 a.m. at the MCG, and then go across to the Avenue of Legends to see KB's statue unveiled. So, and I'm sure richmondfc.com.au will have it covered.
We will. I hope the Chief can get there. I think the Chief's actually at home today as well. He's got a bit of a sore back. So
is Chief Watch in jeopardy?
No, Chief Watch is going ahead. But yeah, cheerio to the Chief as well, who's a bit crook at home today with Tone.
Yeah, and speaking of cheerios, one that was announced during the week with Bruce McAvaney.
Yeah, no, that was
on the eve of the AFL season. I saw him on Saturday, not physically, but I saw him on Saturday doing the horse racing coverage. So
I was a bit shocked when I was told that on Friday night. But Bruce has actually, had the condition for a couple of years now, and he feels fine. But I think he just wanted to make it public. So yeah, we send cheerio to Bruce, but he'll be there this weekend broadcasting the footy. Don't worry about that. So best wishes to Bruce McAvaney. You wouldn't meet a better guy in football than Bruce.
Sit back, Richard. I got this covered.
Tone's listening from home, and he just jumped out of his chair.
I think he feels a bit better now, but not being our home game, there's probably not as much as you would expect going into round 1, but our membership team will have their marquee set up Thursday night outside of Gate 3 and Gate 5 from 5 p.m. So for all your game day inquiries and cap and scarf collection, and even membership sales if you're not a membership yet.
Where is the membership at, do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I think it's around the 60.
I would expect Club News to be all over that sort of stuff.
I've slipped since the end of February. It's into ticket sales mode now. But also the Superstore will be open Thursday from 9 a.m. So they're having a full day on Thursday, and then up until the opening bounce, and then again for an hour after the game. So if you want to get some of that new Puma Guernseys and the like, the Tigerland Superstore will be open. And before the game, there's also, I know our man Louis will be very interested in the Richmond VFL practice match. You got a bit of feedback on the tweets.
We
Louis
did. Louis, our new VFL man, Louis Gillette, is his name, and we got a tweet from our old VFL correspondent in Manfred Mann, Brenton Mann, and he's got a nickname for our new VFL correspondent.
Yep,
Louis Gillette. We're going to call him Mac 3 this year.
Mac 3 works on a couple of levels because he's the third VFL. And the shaving.
Yeah, so he'll be back. He'll be here to report the VFL next week.
So sort of crisped up from Manfred that we'll miss.
Manfred, at least he's still listening to us, Manfred.
He would never miss. Richmond VFL versus Northern Blues, Thursday, March 23 from 4:30 p.m. here at Punt Road Oval.
And Mac 3 will be all over it.
As a curtain raiser to the season opener, gates open from 4 p.m. Food and drink will be available, free for Richmond members, and a gold coin donation to the Alana and Madeline Foundation if you are not. Also, Tiger Tipping has launched.
Oh, yeah, that's going up on the website, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to win $5,000 in cash and a $500 fuel voucher from United.
Is that right?
Sign up at tipping.richmondfc.com.au. And Richo, we can follow your tweets. Your tips.
I'm going to be on the tipping on richmondfc.com.au. And I don't want to pump myself up. I don't do that very often, JB. But I have won the age footy tipping twice in the last 3 years.
So it's a bit of a coup to get you in.
Yes, it is.
No doubt. And also, I just want to give Gav Sconners here, our esteemed producer, and his video team a pump up for the Road to Round 1 series
how good's that?
Produced during the off-season. So if you haven't seen that, richmondfc.com.au, you can watch all 3 episodes and get excited for Thursday night.
We better give Matt and Rachel a mention there.
Oh, yeah.
They've done a heap of work on that.
Absolutely.
Great videos on the website. Have we got any more tweets to get through? I've got a couple here.
Yeah, you go, Richard. Oh,
yeah.
Now, to the emails.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Well, I jumped ahead of you. At Kiwi Tiger 12, which is our mate Slowey over there in New Zealand.
Excited.
He said at Richmond FC on the plane from New Zealand Thursday lunchtime. He can't wait. Slowey, you are a legend, mate. I can't believe the amount of travelling you do to watch the Tigers.
And Redhead and Jess Benson have tweeted in saying great news about the leadership group, which we've touched on already. And Colin as well. One from Ryan Kirkpatrick, stoked for Dan Butler as well. Lots of hard work going into it. And he can't wait to see the Koch versus Murph battle on Thursday night, which is always a highlight.
We're getting a few other tweets coming through. A lot of people are talking about the 3-man leadership group and how happy they are with that, JB.
And another birthday wish to you from Momotastic88.
Oh, thank you very much.
We got a couple of emails in during the week.
You've got mail.
Jeez, right onto it.
There's a few people walking around in the museum here, and it's great to see.
I think they thought Greeners would be here, so they might be a bit disappointed. But
we
always put the call out for our fans to let us know where they're listening from. So we got one here from Andy saying, "Hello, TT. I'm another Tiger fan from overseas, currently writing from India, and he's previously listened to us from Sudan and Peru."
Well,
so we can tick those off. I
reckon we've had a few in South America. We had Argentina.
Yeah, we have.
I don't reckon we've had the Sudan before.
No. So we're venturing into Africa as well. But he wanted to talk about Greeners' top 10 from last week, which was many were talking. Well, no, I think Andy was only the actual one, but he said he could throw in a few more.
Yep.
Bruce Monteith.
Yeah, I like that.
Oleg Markov. And one for this week, because of Dan, we could go Dan Butler.
Yeah, I like it.
So thanks for that, Andy. And
I'm surprised anyone's listening to those top 10s. They haven't really... He hasn't come out of the blocks with them, has he?
This week, I think we're going to have to strip it down to a top 5. Tiger JD has sent in an email saying he's coming over the 16,000 kilometres from Prague to Australia for round 1 and 2.
Wow.
So we look forward to seeing you at the game, Tiger JD. And one here from Dicey Dan saying, "Hey, guys, love the podcast and just wanted to let you know I'm listening every week from Caen in the south of France.
This is incredible.
Moved here 5 years ago, and you guys helped me keep in touch. So it's just...
We've been talking about it for years, about actually getting out a map of the world and just pinning where everyone's... We've nearly got it all covered.
Well, now we've got the celebs in Caen. This is...
How good's the French Riviera? That's where Tone needs to go, actually, and just put his feet up, I reckon. Just
have a bit of a...
He needs to rejuvenate. He's a bit...
He might be in line for a career break, Tone.
Yeah.
That'll set him right.
This man's not in line for a career break. He is on fire. Well, just before, JB, I get into this week's Chief Watch, I'm going to have to play another little sting, because he's been at it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, for our TT listeners, you may remember last year, JB, that our fearless leader, the Chief, he foiled a robbery up in Bridge Road. He was sitting at Lena's having his... he has the organic sort of... lattes these days, doesn't he? The turmeric and all that sort of rubbish. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'm not into the turmeric, that's it. I'm not into all that fancy stuff. Anyway, he was having his turmeric, is that it? Latte?
Just turmeric.
Turmeric. I can't say it. And he foiled the robbery. The gentleman walked in and stole the tip jar.
Grabbed him by the backpack, I believe.
And the chief saw him and strolled down Bridge Road and grabbed him by the backpack. And citizen arrest he laid on this gentleman who stole the tip jar. Well, he's been at it again. He's pulled his cape out again, the chief. He was driving down North Road in Brighton. He lives down in Brighton there, or South Elwood, as he likes to call it. And a little old lady came out onto North Road and waved him down in the car, and she was very distressed. And Brendan got out of the car, and she was just yelling, "Snake, snake, snake!" And Brenny's like, "What?" And she goes, "Snake, inside."
Okay.
And Brendan thought, "Oh, gee, this is not good." So he went straight to his car and got out his 2-iron and went inside this lady's house, and he has caught a snake.
Unbelievable.
In this little old lady's house in North Road. He saved her from this green sort of carpet snake it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He is actually, this is no lie, he has gone into the house and he has trapped this snake and he has removed it from this little old lady's house and saved her from what could have been a pretty nasty episode.
Absolutely. It's things like that don't go noticed, do they?
No, they don't.
Until this segment.
Well, no one would have known unless he came into the office and bragged about it. So he's saved a little old lady in North Road, Brighton, our man the Chief. So well done to the Chief. And cheerio, he wouldn't be listening, but he's at home with a sore back today. So there you go. The Chief has foiled another nasty incident. We weren't sure whether we were going to go with these, JB, because Tone's not here today, and
might have to we're going to have to read War and Peace here to get through.
He sent through his top 10, and it's long. It's about 4 pages in length, his top 10. But what he's going with today, Tone, is his top 10 Tiger round 1 memories. And the first one that he's gone with is round 1, 1966 at Princes Park, where the Blues beat Carlton 16-10-106 to 14-6-100. And on that particular day, Johnny Northey, Paddy Ganane and Freddie Swift, the late great Freddie Swift, all kicked 3 goals for Richmond. So that was round 1, 1966. The Tigers beat the Blues by 6 points. Tone remembers that one. He was there.
Right, next on his list is one we probably cover every week in Talking Tigers, round 1, 1967 at the MCG.
He will mention this in his new segment in a few weeks, The Spirit of 67.
Yeah, that's right. Richmond 15-20, 110 defeated Essendon 11-9, 75. And that game was notable for the debut of an exciting 19-year-old forward by the name of Royce Hart.
He loves Royce. He absolutely loves Royce. The next one's round 1, 1970 at the MCG again. It's Fitzroy. 16-21-16 defeated Richmond 14-12-96. And it was the second half that turned the game on its head. But Eric Moore, he kicked 6 goals. I think they used to call Eric Moore Cement Head. He kicked 6 goals at full forward, and Johnny Northey scored 3 goals. But that was the day that the Tigers were introduced to the royal family at half-time. And after the game,
that's right,
Graham Richmond said, after the loss, said that we'll never invite them again to another game, the royal family.
Well, the next one is the start of a great year in round 1, 1973 at Windy Hill. Richmond 129, just got over the line against Essendon 127. They needed the captain at the time, Royce Hart, again to kick 6 goals, and also Laurie Fowler and the Whale Roberts finished with 3 apiece.
The big whale, the late great whale. What a great man. Round 1, 1978, the Tigers 174, flogged Carlton, kicked 25-24. Gee, 49 shots a goal, that just wouldn't happen now. Carlton were 97, 14-13. 97, and it was David Cloak who kicked 7, and Alan Edwards also kicked 7. Bruce Monteith 4, massive victory.
Well, the next year in 1979 at the Lake Oval, Richmond defeated South Melbourne by 14 points. Cloakey kicked 5 and Michael Roach kicked 4. Notable for the debut of 67 Premiership player Tony Jewell's coaching debut, and also the first game of WA rover Robert Wiley.
Oh, I loved Robbie Wiley. Tone's just text through. He said, "What about my sting?" I just wanted to hear that 10 again, Tone. You know that. Which one are we up to?
You,
so hang on.
Hang on.
I knew there was a reason we were doing this today. Round 1, 1994 at the Western Oval. Footscray actually beat Richmond 17-11-113 to Richmond 17-9-111. But a particular player might have kicked 8 that day. I'm not sure who it was.
It wasn't Matty Rogers or Jamie Tape on debut.
It wasn't. It wasn't either of those guys.
Well, I think whoever that was featured in the next game, which is round 1, 2002, when we thumped Collingwood 155 to 118. You gave the Magpie defence the runaround, and they were in the grand final that year. So,
what happened?
What did you do? You kicked 6 and Brad Otton's kicked 4. So that's a
Big Otto.
Pretty good game.
Geez, he was a good player, Otto. I can't believe we let him go down to Geelong. Played in 3 flags down there. Anyway, there you go. There's Tone's Tigerish memories from round 1.
I think that was top 8. I think there's still two more to go.
Round
1, 2000. You would hope so, wouldn't you?
Was he seriously going to read all of these out? Was he?
Round 1, 2004, we beat Collingwood by 40 points. They did the debut of Nathan Brown from the Western Bulldogs, and he helped us get over the line.
He had 29 possessions that day, Brownie.
Against, at the time, the 2003 runners-up again. So, 29 touches and 2 goals in the final one, Richo.
Kane Johnson had 31 as well. I saw Kane on Saturday, Sugar Johnson. He was looking forward to round 1. The last one, round 1, 2008, Richmond 109 defeated Carlton 79.
It's
and
you again.
The day after his 33rd birthday, Richardson celebrates with the best on-ground performance. I can't do any more of those. Tone, thanks for that. Thanks for pumping me up. That's the end of the top 10 for this week.
Now all...
I don't really want to have to do this, but I can't have this bloke anymore.
Who could it be?
I'm absolutely sick of him, as are a lot of other Aussies after the last few weeks watching the cricket. I've had enough of Virat Kohli.
Right.
I respect him as a player. He's an absolute superstar. He's a gun. He can do anything in the game of cricket. But I just reckon he's carrying on a bit too much. Did you see him last night?
I did.
He's appealing for absolutely everything and just carrying on like a pork chop. The DRS, which... they didn't really like a few years ago. Now he suddenly goes to it all the time, and he does it in situations where there's no way known they're going to get the decision go their way.
And he worked so hard to get another one, and then when the 90th over came along with the new ball, and he just burnt it straight away. I
reckon Virat needs to have a good hard look in the mirror before the 4th test, because I reckon a few people have lost a bit of respect for him in the last few weeks, and I do not like the way he's carrying on. So Virat, pull your head in, mate. You're carrying on too much.
Interestingly, Mitch Marsh has scored more runs in the series already.
That's right.
Virat.
Yeah, he hasn't been scoring runs. Maybe that's why he's a bit upset.
Let's wait till the end of the 4th.
I respect him as a player, but I reckon he's just got to stop carrying on so much.
I think he still takes stumps at the end of the game.
Does he?
Yeah.
You'd have a few at home then. Hey, let's have a look ahead to the Carlton game. JB, what are you looking forward to the most?
Before we do, the Tail's done my job for me. 65,416 members paid up ahead of round 1. And also one from Anthony Florio, 25. He's listening in a uni lecture. He's got footy fever. Don't worry about the studies, Anthony. We got you.
Can you do that, can you? At uni?
I don't know.
No,
it's been a while.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks for listening.
Thursday night, Richard.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
It's going to be big. And it's always apprehensive going into round 1, not knowing how the team's going to come out. And it's a bit of... always going back to the MCG for the first time in a while in front of the big crowd. It's a bit of a feeling out process, but I think the guys are ready to go.
There's always nerves round 1, but it's excitement. You just can't wait to get out there because it is long. Pre-season's long and training in the hot weather, and it can get you after a few months pre-season. You need something to look forward to, and what keeps you going is round 1, knowing that you're going to run out there on the MCG in front of a big crowd. And gee, I'm really, really positive about this year. I think the way we played in the JLT series, JB, just obviously trying to move the ball on quickly and just playing with, it appeared to be more freedom, not thinking about things as much. It looked like guys were just playing on instinct, and I loved it. And some of the pace that was on display up in the forward line, it's a real trend in the competition now. You need to have small guys that can tackle. You need everyone tackling and pressuring up, but with Butler and Rioli and potentially Castagna down there, I think it's a good mix. I think it looks really exciting for round 1.
We spoke about the JLT form there. Do you read into the JLT form of the opposition in Carlton who didn't win a game, or you think they're...
I reckon their last game they looked all right over in Perth. Patrick Cripps was back, and
that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
And he's so good. We need to nullify him. If we can nullify Cripps around the clearances and get first use, I think our forward line looks a little bit more potent, but he's the key. I mean, Murphy and Gibbs are good players, but I think Cripps is their number 1 player in the middle now.
And probably a department we need to give a shout out to, Rich. I know you apologised to him last year, was Burgee and the medical staff.
Yeah, 43 players available. Is that
Yeah,
right?
going into round one, just Hammer, who's on the long-term injury list with a back injury, and Steve Morris, who's coming back from the knee reconstruction last year, are going to miss, and probably Morris 1 or 2 weeks away. But Jack Graham's in line to play his first game in the VFL. But aside from that, it's a full list to choose from, and most have either got a taste of footy at JLT level or the VFL practice match last week as well. So
it's going to be a few unlucky guys miss out.
It's a good selection headache to have, especially you talk about the guys in the forward line, but also off half back. There's a lot of challenge for spots with Corey Ellis and Oleg and Camden McIntosh playing in the VFL.
And obviously Basher had the Collingwood game, so he's obviously in there now. But that's what we want. We want competition, and there's going to be 4 debutants, as we said: Presti, Caddy, Nankervis and Butler.
Yeah, excited to see those guys, obviously.
Big Toby, I am. I'm really keen to watch him. He's competitive, and I reckon he's going to bowl a few over at ground level, like a big Shane Mumford type. I reckon that's the sort of presence he can have in the middle. I've liked what I've seen in the JLT.
Nice, exciting times ahead for Thursday night.
Yellow and blacker.
Let's make some predictions.
Do you want to do tones? You do tones first.
I'll do tones, okay. I don't want to put the moz on him, but he's gone with Dion Prestia in his first game in the yellow and black to get 25 touches and an interview after the game.
Yeah. I think that means he's going to be best on ground.
I think Greeners is venturing into media yellow and blackers now too.
He is.
Not just the on-field. What have you got, Richo?
I'm going to go with the man that's just been included in the leadership group, Jack Rewalt. I'm going to say he's going to kick 5 goals.
Okay, that's good. I'll keep mine short, and we've spoken about him already on the show, but I'm looking forward to seeing Dan Butler get his chance at AFL level. I don't think he'll reach the heights of Jaden Short's debut with 3 goals, but I'm putting him down for a couple of goals by way of hard work and tackling and getting a couple over the top.
I hope you're right.
Me too.
There you go. 2 of the new boys, Prestia and Butler, in the yellow and blackers. Our man Johnny P's just rolled into the museum here, JB, and he's handed me a little note, and he's got his own yellow and blacker. He doesn't have to tweet it in when he's standing right next to me. So Johnny P, he's gone with Butler as well to kick the first goal of the game.
First goal of the game.
And Johnny reckons that Trent Cotchin will kick 2 goals. So hope you're right there, Johnny.
I
Good
like
to
it.
see you, mate.
Good predictions. How are we going to do this?
Oh, this is stupid. Greeners has actually emailed us in a couple of gags, so we'll go with them. Scones, should we? Have you checked them off? No, he hasn't. He's shaking his
They're
head.
pretty light.
All right, JB, when did ducks wake up in the morning?
I'm not sure, Richo.
At the quack of dawn. Roland loved it over there.
Oh, he's going to love this one. It's Spirit of 67 theme.
Yeah.
What popular music group from the 1960s can kill germs, Richo?
Well, I know, because I've got the answer in front of me.
That would be the Bleach Boys.
That is terrible. Hey, JB, what did the dolphin say when it bumped into the whale?
Not sure, mate. Not sure. Well, I am, but...
Sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, the live crowd don't like that one.
A few shakes of the head. We've got 4 people in here watching us. All-time record for TT.
I love this one. What do you call a dinosaur in cowboy boots?
I reckon we've had this before. What do you call it?
It's never stopped us.
What do you call it?
Tyrannosaurus Tex.
Oh, that is terrible. Well, there you go. It's round 1. It's about to fire up, and we cannot wait for Thursday night at the MCG. JB, we send a cheerio out again to Tone. Get better,
Greeners.
mate. We need you back next week. It's not the same without Tony Greenberg in the studio. Benny Gale as well. Get well, Chief. Get that back up and running. Everyone, get to the MCG on Thursday night. It's round 1. We can't wait. Go Tigers.